Welcome to Brain Rules for Baby, Raising Happy, Thriving Kids, the Four Parenting Styles by John Medina, which is me. This video series is all about parenting babies and small children, and I'd like to begin this video with some "that was then, this is now" photographs. It involves families who took a photograph of their children when they were young and attempted to reproduce that same photograph 20 years later. For example, that was then, here's four kids in a bathtub, and now, 20 years later, this is now. Same kids, same tongue sticking out. Things change. I like these photos for lots of reasons, including the fact that these kids seem fairly happy and well adjusted. And maybe they are. They certainly have a terrific sense of humor. If they are thriving, you can ask a really good question. How'd they get that way? To get more specific, what might their parents have done to foster stable, happy offspring? Now, that's a good question. And decades ago, researchers used the tools of the behavioral sciences to find out. After years of investigation, more than a few detours, and fighting through a lot of unsupported opinion, three clear evidence based facts emerged. These facts remain stable to this very day, and I'd like to give you all three. Here's the first one. The first stable fact: the success of parenting rose or fell mostly on a single issue: what a parent did when their child's emotions ran hot. These actions were predictive of how kids turned out years later. Now, running hot here doesn't just mean fear and maybe anger, like I'm showing here, but also positive emotions like happiness and joy and humor. The feelings just had to be intense. Okay, so that's the first one. Now, here's the second stable fact: what a parent did when their kids' emotions ran hot fell into one of three or four behavioral clusters. These are suites of behaviors that tend to co-segregate within families. You can also use the word parenting style. So, four parenting styles. These clusters were and are seen mostly through what the child is perceiving on a daily basis. And what they actually perceived was based on how parents responded to their developing emotional lives as they grew up. So that's the second one. The third conclusion to me is the big blockbuster. One parenting style consistently gave the most positive outcomes. The others gave less positive outcomes, and one style was truly a train wreck. For those of you familiar with this literature, you'll recognize immediately the work of Diana Baumrind and John Gottman, as well as a few others. Now, if you'd like to know more about what these researchers found out, well, you've come to the right place. Parenting is complex business, so it's nice to know that many researchers have devoted their entire professional lives to untangling why families in a bathtub can still crack themselves up 20 years later.